Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. I'm finally back at home. I'm Kale. I'm incredibly influential.
And I'm Maxwell, and I've always been home, and I'm highly successful.
No, you weren't. Weren't you back in New York City?
Oh, that is a good
Yeah,
point. We are,
I
we
was
are.
talking about like the audio quality.
Oh, yeah. Like
Yeah.
everyone's gonna be so concerned about that.
Well, I mean, it sounds a lot better on the Blue Yeti than on the fucking gaming headset.
Yeah, that's to imply you're. I don't mean to flame you. Just forget it. I won't say what I was gonna say.
Well, no, say it. Come on, don't be a pussy.
Oh,
Come on, let's hear it.
I was just gonna say that's to imply you were pleasant to listen to begin with.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. That's
You
actually
asked. You
of the
asked.
of the things that I get complimented on, my voice is the thing I get complimented on the most. It's voice and then hair and then sense of humor. So, fuck you. Everybody likes listening to me. Suck my dick. Uh I just want to so back in the day when we first started this, we used to dedicate our episodes to someone. We quit doing that a while ago, but I finally found someone we could dedicate an episode to. So I want to dedicate this episode to Twitter user Floaties for Kino Loy because that is the funniest fucking Twitter name I've ever seen in my entire life.
That is pretty funny. Someone should have
Absolutely.
got him a floaty or made him a floaty or something.
Exactly. Get that man a pool noodle or something. Goddamn. That was a really funny username though. I saw that on Twitter. I literally said, "You have the best fucking username. Holy shit, we are mentioning you on the podcast this week." It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. So thank you, user at floaties for Kino. Phenomenal.
You want to?
Absolutely phenomenal.
Do you want to talk more Star Wars
Would you
while
like
we're
to talk
while
more
we're
Star Wars?
while you're doing it? Well, I guess I kind of would, in the sense that a pretty popular YouTuber, not like well,
Oh yes, yes. I don't know if I
recently
watched that video yet.
recently uploaded a video about Star Wars, and you know those kinds of things get a lot of traction. And
Yes, that is true.
for just to clarify, the person I'm referring to is Drew Gooden,
Yes.
famously known for Road Work Ahead.
Yeah, I sure hope it does. Um, yeah, I saw some people clowning on him on Twitter not like 10 minutes ago because I was checking Twitter while you were heading home from campus. And I saw some people shitting on his video for that. And I specifically didn't watch it because I didn't want to have to shit on Drew myself because I knew that I would have to. Because I don't know if you know this, Drew, but we haven't gotten any more Star Wars content in like a month and a half, asshole. I
What do you
want more
mean?
Star Wars content.
What do you mean? We just got Ahsoka.
I know that was a month. It ended a month and a half ago.
Yeah, but like, isn't that like recent? That's so recent.
Not recent enough. God damn it.
You know they used to have to wait like 4 years for every movie.
Yeah. How long has it been since Rise of Skywalker? Oh, that's right. 4 years this year. It sucks. I don't like it.
Hmm.
I don't like it, man. It's bad.
Well,
Uh,
I thought the video was, you know, it it is interesting, I guess, in the sense that he makes a pretty solid point, and I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it, okay? Because
mm-hmm.
essentially it's like, okay, a lot of the characters in the shows are like they have stories or journeys, but
Mm-hmm.
none of them really make sense unless we were talking about this specific character. Like a lot of like,
Explain what you mean by that, because I have no fucking clue what you mean by that.
okay,
Explain what you mean by that.
so in the video he talks about um Kenobi. I
Okay.
I think it was interesting. He was bringing up a point about how like the character is purposefully devolved so that they can have an arc in the show.
I mean, so what I would say, first of all, yeah, that's how stories work. That's how sequels work, you know? But second of all, you can't expect someone to be literally perfect all the time,
That's
right?
the thing, is this is not a sequel. This is an in between. This is like
But it is a sequel. It's a
it's
sequel to Revenge of the Sith. It
but
is
it's
far more a sequel to Revenge of the Sith than it is a prequel to A New Hope, if that makes sense.
um I I don't know how much that makes sense.
So, because Alec Guinness is dead,
It should,
sadly,
it should be right in the middle.
time chronologically speaking, it is. But this it all right. This isn't gonna make like it's hard to explain what I mean by this, but like the way so because Alec Guinness passed away, obviously, and he only did those 3 movies and that was it. Um, and Ewan McGregor kind of did his own thing, like based on Alec Guinness, but he did his own thing. I would say that when Ewan McGregor came and stepped back into the role, he wasn't doing pre Alec Guinness. He was doing post Revenge of the Sith Ewan, if that makes sense. Right? Like he's doing an extension of the character that he was in Revenge of the Sith more than the character that Alec Guinness was doing in A New Hope. And I would say that does sort of like that's a valid criticism of Obi-Wan, right? Is he feels too much like prequels Obi-Wan and not enough like original trilogy Obi-Wan. I would say that makes a lot of sense. But you can't expect someone to like on in terms of like talking about um them retroactively like being fucked up and having to have an arc. I would say that if you consider what happened to Obi-Wan, I would say that he would probably it would make sense for him to have that arc, right? If everything you've ever known, because we hear in Obi-Wan, he doesn't remember his parents or his brother all that well. He doesn't remember Stu John all that well, right? If everything you've ever known got fucking murdered and you are partially to blame for it, I would say then that is perfectly grounds for having an arc about healing and trauma and accepting like survivor's guilt and shit like that. I would perfectly I find that to be perfectly understandable mentally. Like
You make
I
you make a pretty valid point.
yeah. And
There's another
also I think you're probably going to bring up the point that I had some refutation on as well. But yeah, continue.
well, there's like a problem in the other direction, which is that the characters who are introduced into the story don't really have like a complete story, if that makes sense.
Uh I mean, I think that's partially due to the fact that Disney's banking on extra seasons, right? When you know, like back how it used to work when people made TV is people would make a show, right? Either like, mini series length or like 13 episode season or a 26 episode season, and they would make the show like that and they would be like, okay, we don't know if we're getting a second season, right? So we're going to make a full and complete arc in the season, and if people want to see more, then we can work with that. but because Disney probably knows that they're going to be doing sequels on all of these, they are purposely saying, okay, these arcs are season wide, but we're definitely leaving it to where there can be character development between seasons because we know we're getting more seasons of this. Right? Like they
Right.
already have the roadmap planned out. I'm sure they've already budgeted the whole fucking thing. They've already got the money for it. Right? So like it doesn't even really like matter at that point. So they are gonna continue the story. So they don't so I think right now we're saying, okay, these guys don't have full complete arcs, right? But that's because we haven't seen their full arc, right? It's like if in Breaking Bad season 1, right? It's like if they knew that they were going to make like what is it? 6 seasons of Breaking Bad?
5.
5. Yeah, 5. They almost had the perfect 6 seasons in a movie. So close. But like if they knew they were going to have 5 seasons and a movie, from the beginning of season 1, they were obviously going to film it differently, right? So I think that's part of it. I think we are watching this this series of content with the attitude of like the old system of TV when this is something else, you know? Um but like I do kind of understand that like they haven't like but Mando's on season 3, right? And it doesn't feel like he's completed his character arc, but also it kind of does, you know? Like now that he's like just chilling out with Grogu on his little farm, that feels like he's completed his arc, you know?
Hmm.
A little bit, but he's still getting more stuff, so I'm sure they'll find more shit to do with him. But yeah, I think it's something to do with the way that we are watching them rather than um like it being like an actual problem. I think once it's all released, once you can watch it from Mando season 1 through Book of Boba Fett through all that shit and end with the Dave Filoni Mandoverse movie, and you can watch all of that all at once, I think it'll flow a little bit better if that makes sense.
Well,
You know what
time
I
will
mean?
tell.
Yeah,
Time will tell.
yeah. But I think that's how it's gonna be. But Drew also made a point that I lost the tweet that I was going to say, but somebody made a tweet using a clip of what Drew was saying, and he was talking about like all these Star Wars shows need a Skywalker or like legacy characters and all this shit, right? And I wanted to say something, right? Because somebody else said it, and if I can find the tweet before then, that'd be lovely. I'll probably tag them, but somebody in the comment section of that said no other franchise has people complaining about legacy characters showing up, right? So if it's like Warhammer 40K, right? If like some legacy character shows up in that, right? Nobody's going to complain about that. If it was like Doctor Who, right? Like nobody's going to complain if you see like a legacy character show up in that, right? Star Wars is the only thing where you get people complaining about seeing characters from like the main set of characters. No other franchise has people complaining about that, you know? So why only Star Wars? It's because people are running out of shit to complain about.
Hmm.
It's there everyone's trying to find new angles to complain about Star Wars because if you look at the fucking YouTube, right? Everyone and their mother is making a this is why Disney Star Wars failed thing because it does good in the algorithm because Star Wars is a big fucking franchise and it makes them a lot of money. But they have to be original. They can't just say the same thing over and over. So they have to come up with new random bullshit to complain about. But no other franchise has people complaining if, like, for example, like a different version of the Doctor shows up. Nobody fucking cares, right? Fucking, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any
Hmm.
sense.
I
So
guess.
that's my point of view on that. I think Drew may have a point about like oversaturation, but also fuck you, I like Star Wars and I generally like what they're doing with it. I haven't been the biggest fan of Bad Batch. I haven't been the I thought Ahsoka was like a B on average. I think is what I said it was. I don't know,
Right.
7, 8 out of 10, somewhere in there, like a C to a B. Um, yeah, I just think that fucking we gotta we. I don't want to go back to the fucking no man's land of Star Wars content where we had one show that was on the verge of cancellation all the time, uh, for and like a smattering of some video games, mostly based on that show, for 10 whole years, right? Between Revenge of the Sith and The Force Awakens, there was one show, couple of books, couple of comics, and most of the video games were based on Clone, or a plurality of the video games were based on Clone Wars, you know?
Hmm.
Got like Republic Heroes, uh Jedi Battle, lightsaber duel, that sort of thing. And it was good, but it's like we didn't get a whole lot of like other shit going on. And now that Disney bought Star Wars, I'd rather be in there's always new Star Wars content coming out. Like there's always the new video games coming out next year. We just got one this year. We got one didn't we get one last year? Or was that 2021? I'm not sure. But
Just because
um
when like an overproduction of content happens, traditionally it has not been well received, and I'm looking at the Marvel universe specifically in that case, when like there is an uptick in stuff, even though
yeah,
it's a high frequency, it doesn't mean it's actually a good thing.
yeah, but the MCU doesn't didn't space it out like Star Wars did, right? So Star Wars, we have comics coming out, we have books coming out, we have games coming out, we have TV shows, and we have movies. The MCU just had, for the most part,
They have a
TV and
lot. They
movies.
have a lot of those same things.
Yes, but they didn't. But like well, almost none of the games have been specifically MCU, right? The Guardians of the Galaxy game looked like the MCU, but it wasn't canon to the MCU. It took a lot of design cues from it, but it wasn't like canon to it. Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, Battlefront to Star Wars Squadrons, those are all like canon and shit, right? That sort of thing it's different. It's different.
I
But
suppose. I feel like the licensing is the same though.
yeah, but more people are like paying attention to like the Star Wars comics, Star Wars books than they were if there were any MCU comics, because I
Oh,
haven't
that's
seen
so
any.
crazy. Whoa, whoa. You're gonna say that the comics don't have like a following
No,
and
the
boost it?
MCU specific comics,
Because they
right?
don't really have a
Because
that's there's kind of a reason there's a C in that acronym. The C is for
exactly
cinematic.
that's what I'm trying to say here
Well,
is
what's the
because the MCU is all on cinema and not in video games or comics or books, then there's not really any branching out, right? With Star Wars, you know, instead of getting 15 movies and 15 shows in a year, we get a movie. Well, we haven't gotten a movie in fucking 4 years. Well, I think we're getting one in 2025, right? We're getting a film in 2025. We're getting, what is it? We got like 3 seasons of TV this year. What was it? Because Andor was last year. We had Bad Batch, we had Mando, and we had Ahsoka, right? So that's 3. We're getting, I think we're getting. There's 5. There's 5 seasons of TV on the slate for next year. I don't know if we're going to be getting that much. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think. I think some of those are going to be pushed back. Um, but we're getting 5 TV shows, one video game at least, if not two. Um, and a couple of books, and I think the comics are still going to be going strong. But with the MCU, right, we got fucking like 4 TV shows and 4 movies this year, man. It was
Mhm.
ridiculous. It was insane. It was too much. You have to
That's
vary the
crazy.
content.
That is like crazy to put in perspective, though. We got 4 movies.
Did we might have gotten 5. I don't know if we got 4 TV shows, but I think we
Let's
might have
count
gotten
them out.
five
We
movies.
got Quantumania, The Marvels.
Quantumania. Yep.
Um, what else was
Guardians 3.
Guardians 3? That's right.
Wait, Love and Thunder was last year. Black Panther was last year. We got a lot last year too. Um, they didn't release anything over the summer, did they?
Other than Guardians.
Yeah, like in July or something.
I can't remember. I don't think
If they
so.
did, it was fucking forgettable. How about
I
that?
mean, the only like exception, it, not in the universe, I guess, but Spider-Man did come out over the summer, I think.
Yeah, and there was one MCU person in there. So there you go. That's
What do you mean?
one.
There was just Prowler. Was that it?
Yeah, no Tom Holland appearances. I mean, there was J.K. Simmons, but I think it was a different universe. J.K.
It was
Simmons.
Lego J.K. Simmons.
There was Lego J.K. Simmons that used archival footage, but like anytime there was a J.K. Simmons like newsreel, or anytime there was a newsreel, it was J. Jonah Jameson, and it was J.K. Simmons. But they used archival footage from the Lego universe, and that was cool. I like that one. That was that. Yeah, I love hearing. Like I will say I'm not the biggest fan of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, but goddamn are those scenes in J. Jonah Jameson's office fucking perfect.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, that's easily some of the best shit.
Even the director in those scenes.
Yeah.
He knows which ones are the best scenes. So that's why he self inserts
Yeah.
himself into them.
I would snort that shit like fucking cocaine if I could. If I could fucking the first time I watched those scenes, if I could like bottle that feeling or like grind that feeling into a powder and snort it, fuck yeah, man, that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
That's pure comedy. I wish I was that funny. I wish I was that fucking funny. God damn. He's cooking.
He was pretty good in this new season of Invincible, which just wrapped up its first half.
Yes. I don't think I had watched the rest of that. Oh, I think we should talk about how was the rest of your Thanksgiving break?
Freaking busy, man.
Yeah. How was your trip?
The trip was good. I'd say leaving and getting back to my campus, awful, terrible.
Oh, I had a little bit of an issue with that too. Not like
there was so much rain during both of those times. It's just like driving through the rain is just a miserable experience, but it's okay, you know.
You made it home.
Yeah, it's only miserable for a little while, at least. So, I got through it, and then I had school kick into high gear right afterwards. But overall, the break was great. I had a good time. It's a very good chance to recoup from school. So that's What more can I say?
I mean, yeah, I would say I had something sort of similar. I had a good Thanksgiving. I slept through most of it actually. I ate dinner and I was so fucking tired. Because we recorded on Wednesday going into Thursday, and I was up pretty late because I had to like get that shit edited and stuff. And then as soon as I was finished dinner, I passed the fuck out and I went to bed until my grandparents left. That's how long I was asleep. It was bad because we ate dinner at like 3:30. I went to sleep until like 7. It was bad. But you know what? We fuck it, we ball regardless. And then yeah, not all that much happened the rest of my trip. We went to a party with some of my stepmom's dad's family, and we went to Hyde Park Steakhouse in Daytona on Sunday, and that was pretty cool. And
Ooh.
then Monday was kind of a bitch getting home, right? So I mm, Monday. So the flights were fine, mostly. Um, Getting up to Charlotte was fine. I had some issues with TSA pre-check. We called. Oh, here's a funny story. So I told my mom. I said, "Okay, my TSA pre-check isn't working because it wasn't working on the way down, and we couldn't get it working. But the airport where I would have had to go through security is fucking tiny, so it was nothing. I got through just fine. And then coming back, right, we spent like the whole week we were talking like, okay, we need to get TSA pre-check because Jacksonville's not a tiny airport. It's larger. So
Right.
we did some work on that, and my mom called the airline and she called Orbitz, who made the reservation, and that was it. And she was like, well, I've done everything in my power. And I said, oh, did you call the TSA? And she said, no. And I'm like, well, that's something you could try. And what does she do? She calls Orbitz again. It's Sometimes I wonder
What?
about her.
What? I'm
it,
confused.
that's what I'm saying. So I called TSA. I got put on hold, so I sent an online thing. They didn't fix it in time, so I went to the airport kiosk and they tried a bunch of different stuff, but they did finally get me a TSA pre-check. So that was it. It was like negligible time saved, but you know what? We take those. It's still a W
You
in my
got
book.
there in the end.
I paid for fucking global entry. I'm gonna fucking use global entry, man.
Right.
I am not a terrorist. You can quote me on that. I
I'll
am
let,
not.
I'll let that hang in the air.
Exactly. Yeah. Much like the planes that I was on, we were hanging in the air. No, that was a good joke by me. Top 10 top 10 best jokes we've ever done.
Uh-huh.
That
Okay. Okay. All right there.
um
Settle down.
what else? But so I got through. I got on my plane up to Charlotte. That was fine. But in Charlotte, oh, that sucks. Oh my god, Charlotte was so bad. Um okay, well, it wasn't that bad, but we were there and we were waiting for the plane for like 30, I think it might have been up to 30 minutes that like the plane had gotten in, and it wasn't a very large plane, and like still they waited like 30, they made us wait fucking 30 minutes, so we were delayed fucking 30 minutes, and I think they were like cleaning it or something, and what I was thinking in the airport was somebody better have like diarrheaed all over the fucking plane or like projectile vomited or both for them to be taking this fucking long, because like I've cleaned up diarrhea and puke from my dog in less than 30 minutes, okay? And he's not a small dog. He makes a lot of mess. Um so I was pretty peeved about that because I already didn't want to be flying back on Monday. What I told my mom to do was I was like, "Hey, can you get me here Friday to Sunday? Right? Can you do that?" Where I left the Friday of break or the Friday of the week before break, and I came back this Sunday like right before, so that way I would have a day to fix my sleep schedule and shit like that and get any work done that I needed to
Yep.
do. But instead she got me Saturday to Monday. And I have classes on Tuesdays. I had to
Right.
get up at 6:30. So I that 30-minute delay was not great. We didn't make up that much time. We landed at like 10:30ish. Got to my car at like 10:45 ish. and I didn't leave until like no. All right, I got to my car at like 10:30, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to remember because I know I got home at about 12, at like 20 after
Maybe.
midnight, right? So I was in the car. Um, it had so when I got out of the airplane, right? I went to my car. It had snowed, and the snow had congealed into ice, and it was 14 degrees outside. So very, very, very frozen. I was scraping snow and like using my window defrosters for like 20, 30 minutes before I could finally be in a state that was like passable enough to leave, right? Like it was there was still a bit of ice and like frost and stuff, but I just like fuck it, I need to get home. So I got
Uh-huh.
home at about 15, 20 after midnight, and it was and Buster, of course, did not want to go to sleep, so I didn't go to sleep until about 1, and I got up at 6:30. And then, some of you may have noticed that last week's podcast episode went up a little. Uh, or I say last week because you're listening to this on Tuesday. The one that came out on Tuesday, episode 83, went up a little early, and that's because I was setting it to come out on my phone, right? And full disclosure, I had switched the time zone back into Central, right? Like I was on Central. So I said, okay, at 0800 local time, it had switched. It knew I was in Central Time. It knew I was in Illinois. And it was like, okay, yeah, sure. And when I said, okay, make it go up at 8 a.m., it said, okay, and then posted it at 7:02. So that was awesome. I'm really happy about that. So you guys got the podcast episode an hour early. There you go.
Wow.
Awesome.
How
Love it.
how dare you?
I know. I know. Call me a criminal. Take me away. Take me to jail. But
Just
that was
what you
really fucking
deserve.
stupid. Hmm.
Well, you know, what's done is done.
Yeah. So don't expect that to be a normal thing. We're not.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't want to fuck over our West Coast viewers by posting it at like 5 in the morning for them. Okay, we don't be doing that. No, thank you. So, yeah, don't expect that to be a normal thing. But that's what happened there. So that was annoying. Um, and then I did not fix my sleep schedule all week. So on Thursday, when I had my other in-person class, um, I sorry, um, my alarm for some reason decided not to go off, even though I don't think I turned it off, and it's a Tuesday Thursday alarm on my phone. It just decided not to go off, so I missed. I woke up around the time when my first class was ending. Right, like I was supposed to get up at 6:30. I woke up at 10:30. So fixed my sleep schedule right up, but
At
I
what
missed that
cost?
first class. Yeah, so by the time I left my house, right? I was like, okay, I'll be a few minutes late for my second class, but I had already cleaned my backpack out. So backtrack. I suck at telling stories on this show. Um, so I was like in a rush. I was like removing the shit from my backpack that I didn't need, and I didn't put in my second class stuff because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna make it, right? But then as soon as I got in my car, I'm like, oh wait, okay, I might make it. I'll just be like a minute or two late. But then I was like, wait, I didn't pack anything for my second class. I didn't pack my notes. I didn't pack my book or anything. So it's just like, God damn it. So instead, I
What
went
a
to the
mess.
library and I worked on a an extra credit assignment for like it's like a resume thing, right? It's an AI resume reader thing,
Hmm.
and I previously got this resume graded by my professor, right? And I think he gave me like a 90% on it. It was good. It's a good fucking resume. But on this resume website, I got like the highest I got was like a 43, right? And we needed to be like an 80 for him to give us credit for it. So I wasted like 50 minutes of my life that I'll never get back trying to please this stupid AI who's dumber than ChatGPT, and that's saying a lot because ChatGPT isn't all that smart. Um, it it was fucking awful, and I wasted all my time on that. Even though I need the fucking extra credit, but whatever. So I was tempted to say, well, the AI thing didn't really work, but you gave me a good grade on it. So either you don't know what you're talking about, or the AI doesn't know what it's talking about. Either way, you should give me the bonus points. You know,
Uh-huh.
you
Right.
know, right, yeah. Now you
Okay.
know. But yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. I hate that assignment. I hate that class. I hate that professor. I gave him, I shredded his ass in the course evals. And I think he knew that I shredded his ass in the course evals because he was a real stick of his ass in class that day. He was real pissed about it. Um, he literally threatened to like go back on our past assignment to take away points because he didn't explain something correctly and he was waiting for us to give him an answer that he liked. And
That
eventually none of us raised our hands because we were like, well, what the fuck do you want from us? And he like didn't explain it very well. So then he was like, oh, I'm just gonna go back and take away a bunch of points from your previous assignments. And first of all, I'm not sure he can do that. Second of all, if he does, I will have the entire class on my side if we go to the board and complain about him. Because I know for a fact no one in that class likes him. I don't know how he got tenure, but I think I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would personally suck the dick of every single board member in order to make him lose his tenure and have him suck dick for nickels on the street. That is how much I hate him. He's got a crap rating on Rate My Professor. I wish I would have checked that and been like, no thanks. Put me in a class with someone who can actually do their job. That'd be cool. But he's fucking awful, and I hate him, and everybody hates him, and he shouldn't be teaching. So there you go.
wow.
Yep. So that's a good segue to go to the ad break. Love you. Bye. This episode is sponsored by Liquid IV, the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. We've been partnering with them all summer, and I've been using it to beat the heat through some of these particularly nasty heat waves. While it was scorching hot outside, I was staying cool and refreshed with Liquid IV and their 12 delicious flavors.
One stick of liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you twice as fast and far more efficiently than water alone, and it also contains 5 essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks, without any GMOs, gluten, dairy, or soy. Liquid IV is also committed to equitable access to clean water worldwide, partnering with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions with communities that protect both their water and their futures, and donating 39 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code IIHS podcast, all one word, at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code IIHS podcast, again, all one word, at liquidiv.com. Thank you again to Liquid IV for partnering with us. This episode has been generously sponsored by skunknuggetparenting.com, run by my own talented mother. Parenting is hard. Sometimes kids and parents are like night and day. It can be very hard to get on the same page with them, and a lot of parents have anxiety that maybe they're doing it all wrong. Luckily, there is a service out there that can help. Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions is a company that provides parent coaching services, resource referrals, and psychological profiling, along with 24/7 phone and text access in an all virtual program. Plus, the first consultation is free. In order to get this amazing service, please visit skunknuggetparenting.com. That is skunknuggetparenting.com. Thank you to Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions for sponsoring this episode. Thank you all for listening. And now, back to the podcast. Hello, welcome back. We're here. Um,
Still here.
we are. We're still here. Some might say we never even left, but those people are the people who are subscribed to us on Patreon, because for them we didn't even go to the ad break. So go over and subscribe. Patreon.com/IIHS podcast. Hell yeah. Yeah. We were talking about Invincible, right? Or we were going to, but then we were like, let's finish talking about the Thanksgiving break. Let's talk about Invincible.
Okay.
How are we feeling about that?
Well, it was really well done. It's very
I
interesting. I like
Yeah.
this, like it feels very grounded in realism for
hmm
like a superhero show.
I've been enjoying it as well. I really enjoyed that mid season finale episode. Um, it's been cool to see this different side of Nolan. Um, I really enjoyed. Um, I haven't been enjoying that they brought Amber back. Um, did did you share the same sort of reaction to Amber that everyone and their mother did in the first season?
Mm, not really. I thought it offered like an interesting dichotomy. It's like I rewatched it and I was like, this is like really like good to have happening like with Mark and give him like an interesting development while stuff with
I meant that
Nolan and
she's an
his wife.
asshole.
Yeah, I didn't pick that up.
So, um, I don't know. For most people, you know, if you've been watching Invincible but you didn't know that, I'll do a brief little explanation. For a lot of people, Amber came out at the end of the first season. Spoilers.
It's so funny everyone thinks she's an asshole when like she's like one of the most selfless people in the show and has
So
no powers.
some of her actions are very selfless. I will say. You know, she goes to the soup kitchen. Blah blah blah. That's a good thing. You should go to your local soup kitchen. But
We're gonna
the
we're
thing
gonna just excuse all of that for
But
this
the
other
thing that we're
argument.
talking shit about, right, is Amber knew. She said that she knew quite a while ago that Mark was invincible, right? Um, I don't know if they say exactly when she knew, but she chews Mark out. Um, like she's about to chew Mark out for like, oh, he didn't go to the soup kitchen, right? But that's because he was getting fucked up by supervillains, right? Like he almost died. He says like he got hit by a bus because that's the comparative level of injuries that like a normal person would have gotten from getting hit by a bus. That's the kind of injuries he got from fighting all those supervillains and shit, right? So he got fucked up there, and we don't know if I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think she knew then, or she doesn't say that she knew then, but she definitely knew during the college thing, and she fucking talks shit on Mark when he runs off to go suit up as Invincible and come back and fight the I forget what they call them, but it's like the people who got like experimented on and became like monsters and shit. He came back and he like fought it and saved Will and Amber, right? Like he came back and did that, but obviously as Invincible. But if she knew that he was invincible when that happened, why did the fuck did she chew him out and be like, you know, you ran away, you didn't protect us, right? It's like, bitch, how the fuck was he supposed to protect you? God damn. What do you
Well,
want from us, man?
I'm confused why everyone's impression is that like the way the timetable works.
Because she
Um,
said she knew for weeks. That's what she said. She said she knew for weeks. So and after that, she went to go and cheat on Mark. Like she was at that party and she was going to cheat on Mark, and she almost did. Even though she knew he was invincible and he was there trying to protect her, right? And she's like, okay, why didn't you tell me that you were invincible? And it was like, bro, if he told you, you would have been in more danger. He was trying to protect you, and she's trying to make it all about her. So Amber is a bad person. They definitely made her more interesting than she was in the comics, because in the comics she was like kind of a nothing burger, but in like, and she's still interesting. Like, she serves the purpose of the show well, in that she is the love interest that Mark has before he gets with Eve, obviously. If you couldn't tell that that's what's going to happen, you haven't been watching the show, because they've
I'm
been hinting that for a long time.
I'm well aware what's going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's like hasn't happened yet, but
Hmm.
it's easy to see where it's going.
You know, I there was a scene that I really enjoyed. Um Now, like, where Rexplode, again, this is more spoilers. What did you think of Duplicate getting with Immortal? Also, I thought Omni-Man killed Immortal again. I thought he killed him twice, and like they didn't bring him back.
Yeah.
I thought that's what happened at the end of the last season. I thought he like fully killed Immortal twice, and like they couldn't bring him back. And then they brought him back with like no explanation. And so I was like, okay, sure, I guess. That's fine. Um and then um like him and Duplicate being together. But I really like the scene. Well, first of all, I like that that happened in a mirror of how Eve found out that he was cheating on her with Duplicate. Even though there's more duplicates, right? Because he was just having sex with 2 duplicates. Immortal had 4. Immortal's a fucking Chad.
Yo, chill.
But fucking uh but like I like the explanation scene where they're in the gym, and like I like that she's with Immortal because he's died as many times as she has. And I think that's actually a really interesting like angle to look at it from.
Hmm.
Invincible and what is it? The Boys have, or like the shows that are in the Boysiverse. I don't know what they're gonna call that.
The boys averse.
That's what they should call it. The Boysiverse. I don't know. Fuck it. The Vaudiverse, Univaught. I don't know. Um, but like where they're looking at like the way they look at like superpowers and shit, right? They have like a unique like perspective on it, where it's like, you know, Golden Boy lights himself on fire, but that means all his clothes burn off, so his penis is out all the time. Uh, and
It's quite inconvenient.
yeah, and the chick who can shrink herself has to do it by purging. You know, she has to make herself throw up, and that makes her shrink, and she has to eat food to come back. You know, that's a different like perspective to look at shrinking and growing. You know, but
Hmm.
uh, like that I like the way that these shows are analyzing superpowers and sort of coming at them from like a different angle, you know.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. It is interesting.
but also, I think The Boys is sort of let down by the fact that even though they have sort of divorced themselves from Garth Ennis's like sort of thing, you know, like the main show is like way different from how the Boys comic is at this point. Um, but like they still sort of have to fit into Garth Ennis's like universe and sort of have to like fit his aesthetic. And Garth Ennis fucking loves his like just edgy bullshit, you know? So there's a lot of just edgy bullshit in these shows that still has to be there for it to still be like The Boys or Gen V or whatever the fuck. So it's still kind of let down, but like the girl who has to like slice her fucking hands open to use her own blood as a weapon, that is a Garth Ennis that's a Garth Ennis fucking creation. you know what kind of shit like he would come up with, and that's definitely like that definitely fits in with his like world and shit, right? Uh, or again, the girl who has to fucking bulimia herself small, right? Uh like that is a Garth Ennis type thing. So it's like the boys still has to be dark and edgy in certain ways to fit with that aesthetic, and I feel like it is sort of let down by it. The worst part of the boys is the stuff that makes it the boys, you know? Right? Like the
Right.
all
I
that sort
guess
of thing.
the
Yeah.
the the like kind of humor that's in that show.
Yeah. But I will admit sometimes when you do take some of the when you cut down on the amount of like really gory, really graphic type shit from like that was in the comics and you only show like the really important stuff, it really helps to like do it for shock value, right? Because when fucking Huey's girlfriend gets absolutely fucking vaporized, right? That is good fucking shock value. When Homelander fucking melts Kira Sedgwick's fucking face, right? That's good shock value, right? But the boys comic was always doing gory, gross shit like that. So it's like, or Herogasm, right? Like everyone was building up to Herogasm, and then when we finally got it, we got like a close-up scene of some dude sitting on the toilet with his dick and balls and asshole out, right? Like this is the type of shit that the show is fucking like good at, right? But with the boys in the comic, every fucking issue is something gross like that. So it loses its shock value. So I like what they're doing with the boys. I like what they're doing with Gen V. I'm only a few episodes into Gen V, but I made sure to watch all of Invincible up to the half season finale because that's a great show. That's a great fucking show. I love
Right.
Invincible. That first season is really fucking solid. That first episode is just amazing.
I do like that episode a lot. I really like. I mean, like it's so compelling having a like a relationship between the mother and son be
Hmm.
like I mean given so much focus. I guess.
Yeah, Debbie got a lot to work with in the second season that I've been really enjoying. Sandra Oh is fucking phenomenal. I love her. I said it last week and I'll say it again this week. She's the only actress from Grey's Anatomy who I respect. I don't respect any other actor or actress from that show at all. Zero respect for them as worker. No, hang on. Kevin McKidd was in Rome, and he was Soap from Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. So you know what? He gets credit for that. But other than that, no one else on those shows should have any respect or be working in Hollywood. If somebody now I'm not suggesting anyone do this, but if someone, for example, found out that Shondaland, the production company, was a drug front and it was all money
Oh,
laundering,
oh,
and they shut down the entire company and all those shows, and nobody ever made a show. Nobody who worked on those shows ever made anything ever again. I wouldn't be opposed, you know? So I'm not suggesting anyone go and plant evidence that that is the case. But if someone did and they got convicted, you know what? You know, it's not the worst thing that would happen in the world.
hmm.
There have been worse tragedies than Shonda Rhimes going to jail for the rest of her life and never making any more TV. I wouldn't mind because Grey's Anatomy is fucking garbage. And they also ruined Viola Davis with How to Get Away with Murder. They ruined her. They
Yeah.
ruined her.
She's never been the same since.
She's never been the same since. She was great, and they ruined her. Fuck you. Fuck you, Shonda. Shove it right up your ass. But
Okay.
Sandra Oh as Debbie has been kind of carrying this season.
Yeah, she's like really a part of the show, like a big part of the show.
Her performance has easily been the best one. But I will say, what is it? David Diggs as Green Goop or Green Ghost's husband. That that was a good performance. I couldn't even tell that it was David Diggs until I paused. Like I
Mhm.
paused to go out and get up, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's David Diggs! Damn, that's motherfucking Thomas Jefferson right there. Holy shit, that's crazy." But
Pretty
yeah,
cool.
he did a really good job. I really appreciated his performance. I thought he did a good job, and I thought Debbie was fucking phenomenal this first half of the season, and I hope she gets even more to do. How do you feel about Donald?
Oh, I think that's really interesting because like I mean I feel like I know a little bit about the comics, but this is something I'm not familiar with. It's like why he's acting this way, or like what what is the reason for why he's still alive?
Yeah,
That matter.
I like the mystery on that. I hope he finds out. I like that they're playing more into how evil Cecil is.
Hmm.
Um, I like that. I also did you watch the Adam Eve like special episode?
Oh, I did.
I think
Yeah.
that came out a few months ago, but I only watched it then. I I love that episode because Adam Eve's dad is a fucking douche,
Yeah,
and
he is.
they are setting him up to be the most satisfying kill ever. Somebody's gonna kill him, and it is going to be the most satisfying thing in the world. Like, oh my god, like it'll be almost as satisfying as when they killed King Joffrey. Right? He is such a dick. What an
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah, he's a guy you love to hate.
No, I don't even love to hate him, but like, oh, he's so bad. He's so evil, right? Like, love to hate is like you laugh at him being an asshole. Him being mean just like hurts my heart because he's a fucking racist against soups, you know? And it's not even the boys universe where you can be racist against soups, okay? Like that's normal, where that's a perfectly normal response. Because the soups in Invincible are still pretty goddamn good.
Hmm.
I haven't been enjoying what they did with Robot. He's okay, but like I liked his arc in the first season a lot more. I feel like Zachary Quinto was a better actor for Robot than whoever they have playing young Rex Splode. You know,
Right.
yeah, Zachary Quinto did. He was my standout performance in the first season. Zachary Quinto as Robot was my fucking favorite.
Hmm.
I loved that. He it was like his Spock performance, but like every like bad line from the scripts and like every like weird delivery was gone. It was exactly like that, but it was perfect. It was amazing. And we're getting less of that, and I don't like that because Zachary Quinto is fucking awesome. Um, but yeah, J.K. Simmons has been doing a good fucking job. Um,
Still killing it.
Absolute. There's never been anything where he hasn't been good in. Even in like Zack Snyder's, or not Zack Snyder's, Justice League. He was still fucking good in that for the 5 seconds of screen time that he had. I would have loved to seen him as Commissioner Gordon. That would have been awesome. But oh man, what a missed opportunity that was. Like I don't even like the Snyderverse, but like that was a missed opportunity.
Hmm.
That was good casting. That was fucking good casting. Um, but yeah, no. He's. I really like that whole dynamic he's got going on with the new wife and the new baby, who might not even have any powers. And I think that's that whole new thing about like meeting the stepmom and your half brother. Like that's relatable, and that's a nice perspective they had on that. I thought that was really interesting. Um, yeah, I like what they did with that fight scene as well. That was a fun fight scene. Um, and just letting Omni Man go all out on motherfuckers and still be a good guy was awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really first half so promising.
Not it was not as satisfying as like when he killed what is it, the Guardians of the Globe? That was fucking awesome, right? Like but like he was doing it because he was a bad guy. So not quite good. But like watching him go all out on those asshole Viltrumites after they killed Alan. Oh, how did you feel about Thetis? Right? So
Um,
you know the I don't know if it's a twist about Thetis. Um like you know who he is, right? Or what he is?
I think so.
He's a Viltrumite. He's a Viltrumite.
Oh,
Uh
yes, played
yeah.
by what's his name?
Peter Cullen, Optimus
Peter
Prime.
Cullen, right?
Yeah. I didn't know if you knew he was a Viltrumite. I don't know if they said that in the show, but I was like, that motherfucker is a Viltrumite. And then I looked it up, and that motherfucker was a Viltrumite. Because obviously he was a Viltrumite in the comics, but it's like, they're like the only other humanoid species in the galaxy, and humans haven't been contacted by these aliens except for Mark by Alan, right? So obviously he's a Viltrumite. But when he fucking pulled the plug on Alan, that was so sad. Because
Yeah, does that mean he's dead? I'm so confused.
I'm a little bit confused as well. I think it's intentionally ambiguous. I think it's like an intentional cliffhanger, but
Yeah, that's
fuck,
true.
man.
I know. I like how the stakes are still like maintained, even
Yeah.
though like they're adapted. Like it
Hmm.
easily could be like dismissed, but it's not.
Yeah. And now Alan. So Alan might be dead. Nolan has been taken back to Viltrum. Mark is on some alien planet with his half brother and his stepmom. He doesn't know
Reassuming.
how he's gonna get home.
Played by Kim Wexler.
Kim Wexler, really? Didn't know. I didn't pause during that, so I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't that really funny?
Yeah. I mean, you know what?
The play plays the bug lady.
She did a good job though. I liked the bug lady. I thought she was awesome. And like watching Nolan, like Mark views the bugs as how Nolan viewed the humans, and then watching Nolan like give his fucking potentially give his life to save the bugs, right? That's fucking character growth. And I really like where they're going with that. So I can't wait to see what the rest of the series holds. When is the next episode?
January, January something, like mid-January.
Fuck, that's too long, man. I don't want to have to wait that long. Fuck. Ah, man, I have a whole month with no Invincible. That sucks. That sucks, man. No fucking Peter Cullen voicing someone who isn't Optimus Prime but still using the Optimus Prime voice.
He sounds so good. That man
Oh, he
could narrate my
does.
life.
He absolutely does, but it 100% takes me out of it when it absolutely just sounds like fucking Optimus Prime. Cuz he's talking the same kind of shit that Optimus Prime does too. So it's like,
I
okay,
know
it's
he's a
Optimus Prime.
leader.
We get it. I am Optimus Prime. I love anime titties. You know, that type of shit. You know?
Yeah,
Like
that's what we're missing is having Peter Cullen on Fiverr.
that's true. That's true.
That
I
would that would be pretty funny.
I would pay good money for that. Although I will say, I've been watching a lot of Transformers YouTube poops, and in Transformers 2007, he says sorry, my bad, when they're like trying to hide from Sam's parents in his backyard. And I they get a lot of mileage out of that voice clip. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, he just says sorry, my bad, and they get a lot of fucking mileage out of that. But yeah, I love Peter Cullen. Peter Cullen's a great Optimus Prime. I don't think anyone has even half the talent to play Optimus Prime that Peter Cullen has. You know,
Say
like you
it
can,
loud and proud.
like you can switch out Megatron. You know, Hugo Weaving, Frank Welker. You know, doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. But Optimus Prime is Peter Cullen. They can kill the Transformer franchise when Peter Cullen dies. That's what I'm gonna say. You can quote me on that. You can quote me on that. I don't want to see any other Transformers thing if it doesn't have Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime. There you go.
Hey,
So saith I.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to do before we go to the big red button?
I don't know.
Anything? I don't know, man. Oh, I just wanted to say I flew to Charlotte and from Charlotte on a Bombardier CRJ 900. It fucking sucks. It is a terrible plane. It's awful. Whoever designed it should go to jail. It was bad. It's a bad plane. It's bad. You made a bad fucking plane. There you go. Fuck you.
Nice.
I have a big red button though.
All right, let's hear it.
You find true love, the woman of your dreams, like absolutely like perfect, right? But she has a turtle shell, like a turtle carapace, so front and back. She's a turtle. What do? Do you press the button or no?
She's the perfect girl, but front and back, she's a turtle.
Like on her front, she has like the turtle stomach, and on her back, she has the turtle shell, and it is attached to her body just like a turtle. She's normal arms, normal head, normal legs, but she's a turtle. What do you do?
I mean, if you say that's the perfect person.
No, I'm saying she's perfect other than that, right? Like that's obviously not appealing to me. But
Well, I mean, I guess not, unfortunately. But I mean,
tall.
I'm very, I'm very tolerant. So, the turtle bod would not be a diminisher, even if I didn't hit the button.
I
I will just say that.
you know what? I think I could uh I think I could get behind it if the woman inside the shell was still like um like a good person and kind and sweet and beautiful soul.
The woman inside the shell.
Yeah. Well, what the fuck you think I was gonna say about it?
No,
You
no,
know?
it's just the word the word usage, I mean, it
Oh,
works.
that was 100% intentional. I don't even
Okay.
think that's technically a pun.
No,
I
it's
don't even
quite
think that's a
literal.
pun.
It gets to be
Yes,
quite literal in this situation.
exactly. So the woman inside the shell is beautiful and sweet and you know a beautiful soul. I don't mind that she got a turtle body. I'm still I'm still get on that. You know. Um, trying to come up with a joke there for that. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'll be the April to your turtle because you know how like recently all the turtles have been like trying to smash April and it's kind of weird.
I know, one at a time. Or just
Yeah.
Raphael.
No, Mikey deserves it. Mikey, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Let's be real here. Let's answer the questions that really matter. Answer.
Me? Uh, I I mean, Michelangelo's pretty great.
I gotta say,
Pretty cool.
I'm a big Leo man. I'm a big Leo man. He's the dream team, you know.
Yeah, I mean, good answer.
Mhm. He's on some king shit all the time. They had fucking Johnny Knoxville voicing him in the Michael Bay in the first Michael Bay one. They had fucking Johnny Knoxville voicing him. That's fucking cool, right? Like, come on, like that's
That is
fucking
cool.
cool. Yeah, he couldn't come back for the second one, which was very sad. But I mean, the second one was better, honestly, right? Like, am I taking fucking crazy pills?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but no, that was fun. I think Leo's the fucking dopest, man. And he's got the fucking katanas. Like, come on. Like, come on. That's and he's like, like the thing is like he's the only one to like earn them, like everyone else has like non-lethal weapons, but he gets like the actual blades and shit because like he's responsible enough to use them correctly and like not murder anyone with them, or like not murder anyone bad with them. Like
Right,
that's
he's the
fucking
only one.
awesome.
He's the only one who gets the katanas.
Exactly. Everyone else gets fucking sticks of wood, or Raphael gets like the metal pokey ones, but the way you use them is you grab the metal pokey ends and you point them backwards and you hit people with the stick end with the handle bits, right? Fucking Leonardo is the only one who uses predominantly lethal weapons, and he's fucking awesome. And he's yeah, I love Leo. Leo's on some king shit all the time, always. So fuck yeah, hell yeah, we love it. We love to see it. Yeah, I think that's I think that's a good
Nice.
place to end it.
All right.
Uh, yeah. Thank you all very much for watching. We want to thank Justin Connor for helping to get this episode out over on Patreon, helping to subsidize this nonsense. If you want to get a cool shout out like that, head on over to patreon.com/IIHS podcast. If you join our influential and successful tier, you get early access to ad-free versions of these episodes before they come out on Tuesdays. So that's pretty cool. You also get access to our movie commentaries, and we need to fucking watch a movie. You know what? We're gonna commit. We're gonna commit. We're gonna commit. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna watch a movie this weekend. Are you ready to go? We're gonna watch a movie.
Okay.
Any movie. Any movie at all. Any movie at all. We're gonna watch one of them this weekend. You know what? Actually, you know what? I have an idea. We're gonna watch a movie together. Here we go. So stay tuned for that. Um, yeah. Uh, we'll probably announce it on Twitter as well. But in case you're listening to this before it comes out on Tuesday, you're gonna know that we're watching a movie early. But by the time this comes out, it will have already been out. I don't know. Man. Time is weird. Um, but yeah, so go on over there if you want to listen to us talk about a movie while you're watching it. That's cool. Um, Also, uh, if you want to, I'm blanking. I hate doing the outro. It's so hard. But if you want to follow us on social media, we are
Doing
at
great.
IIHS Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. Go over there, watch us. It's the best place to go for topic suggestions, Q&A, and updates about the show. So head on over to all those. Go follow us. Do all that. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We try to get the episodes out within a few hours of them going live on every other platform. We try and get them out on YouTube. Um, Obviously, that's mostly my job, so I fuck it up. So sometimes it's sooner, sometimes it's later, but we usually get it out on the same day. So if you want to listen to us there and that's more convenient, that's where we're at IIHS Podcast on YouTube. There you go. But other than that, I can't think of anything else I need to say. So my name is Kale. I have been incredibly influential.
My name is Maxwell, and I've been highly successful.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.